News Station.
Last night, Connecticut lawmakers passed a $56 billion budget. I'm Glenn Kittle at the state capitol. We're going to tell you how this affects your family coming up at 6.
Thanks, Glenn. We're going to have much more from him in just a few minutes. But good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for checking in with us here at Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus, America Areas.
And I'm Bridget Biorla. Great to have you here. If you liked yesterday weather-wise, you're going to like today, too. Let's get a check-in with Rachel Piscatelli. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, good morning. A little bit warmer today, and we'll also have a little bit of haziness to the sky later on, but the humidity still stays low, which is certainly something that we like. Yesterday was gorgeous. We had temperatures in the 70s to near 80, around 80 degrees yesterday over in the capital, 77 the high temperature yesterday in New Haven. We'll have hazy sunshine. We're already seeing that now. You may actually notice when you step outdoors a little bit of some filtered sunshine out there. A lot of us are reporting clear skies, but with the haze from the wildfire smokes that are over in Canada getting trapped in the upper layers of the atmosphere and making its way all the way over to here. So we have this air quality alert in effect from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. for today. If you suffer from respiratory issues, sensitive groups certainly want to limit your time outdoors, as we are going to see that haziness, and there's there's more particulates in the sky and in the air. 57 degrees over in Hartford right now, New Haven at 56. Temperatures 54 in Waterbury, 51 in Torrington. Golfing forecasts for today. If you are heading out, you want to make note of the air quality issues, but temperatures will be in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees at 11 a.m. We're warming all the way up to the middle to upper 80s in Hartford. A little bit cooler at the coast with those temperatures that'll be close to 80 degrees as well. Then for tomorrow, we're heating things up in a pretty big way. We'll talk about these numbers plus what's on the way for the weekend coming up in just a bit. As we check in with the roads here at about 8:02 overall, we are looking okay. We'll take a look at our drive times this morning as there's no major delays to tell you about at this hour. Windsor to the 84 interchange is around 3 minutes. Newport and Ave to the Hartford Tunnel is around 5. And then over on Route 2, Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge is 6. Backing it up here from Hartford into Waterbury, it's 29, and Waterbury into Hartford, it's about 28. So no delays, 84 east and westbound. Over to you.
Rachel, thanks so much. All right, breaking news here at 6:02. We've just learned that a woman died after a car crash in a parking lot. Now, this happened in Hartford near Maple and Franklin Avenues just before 10 o'clock last night. Hartford police tell us that an Acura with 3 people inside crashed into a passenger van. Police tell us that the car was speeding as it neared the intersection. It then crossed over the road, hit a fence and 2 trees, then stopped in the parking lot up against the van. Now, no one was in the van at the time. Police say the 41-year-old driver of the Acura and an 18-year-old girl who was in the back seat were both seriously hurt. A 38-year-old woman who was in the front seat was taken to the hospital. She is the one that later died. And at the state capitol, Connecticut lawmakers passed a 2-year budget late last night, about 24 hours before their deadline. This after weeks of negotiations and compromises. It all adds up to a nearly $56 billion package.
The budget now heads to Governor Ned Lamont's desk. He is expected to sign it. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is live at the state capitol with what the budget means for you and your family. And Glenn, you've been reading through that, 700-page document?
Yeah, good morning, Erica, Bridget. Definitely a large document to go through, 700 pages, but it does kick in for the 2026-27 fiscal year. There are some boosts to some key services in there, while there's also some cuts to some pretty high-profile tax relief plans. We're going to take a look at it on your screen now. Here's a look at some of those add-ons and cutoffs that the budget makes. Lawmakers drop proposals for a statewide child tax credit and an increase to the popular property tax credit. Still, Democrats say the budget stays under the spending cap and makes critical investments in Connecticut's most vulnerable. On top of that, you also have a $250 earned income tax credit program, and there's also a total of $442 million in special education excess cost spending that includes $80 million in additional special education cost saving and $75 million in additional new special education funding. This bill also fully funds Medicaid and increased funding by more than $400 million. More than 900,000 people in Connecticut rely on the program. The State House passed the budget earlier this week, and during last night's vote, state senators on both sides had mixed reactions. Republican State Senator Stephen Harding Jr. called the bill fiscally irresponsible. Meanwhile, State Senator Majority Leader Democrat Bob Duff praised the nearly $56 billion package.
I do oppose this.
Because as I said in the beginning, honesty is the most important factor. This is not a fiscally responsible budget. It's a budget, in my opinion, that does not make the investments necessary to move on a path forward. It doesn't find efficiencies in cutting our bureaucracy in Hartford that continues to grow beyond the means of what people can afford here in this state.
Over the next 2 years, we can say we have a budget with no new taxes, we have a budget that saves, we have a budget that invests, and we have a budget that pays down debts that have been accumulated for 7 decades.
This budget now awaits Governor Lamont's signature for final approval. Lamont said last night he plans to sign the bill soon after it gets to his office. Like you said before, the budget is nearly 700 pages long. If you want to take a look at it yourself, we'll have all of that on our website at FOX61.com. Live from the State Capitol building in Hartford, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
All right, Glenn, thanks so much for the update there. We'll check back through the morning. Meantime, at 6:06, Governor Lamont says that he's going to sign a bill that lawmakers say will save ratepayers money on utility costs. It's expected to shift costs and changes state investment to save money now. It promises nearly $400 million in annual savings for customers and is supposed to pave the way for long-term reductions to supply, delivery, and transmission fees. The governor calls it one step in a broader push to lower energy costs. Lawmakers passed the bill by overwhelming margins in both chambers, with only 4 no votes. And today marks the last day of the 2025 legislative session. Lawmakers have until midnight to get their final bills passed through. Stick with us here at Fox 61 for continuing coverage out of the Capitol. Here on air, online, and on Fox 61 Plus. You can download it onto your TV and watch for free.
6:07 now. One person was hurt and had to be taken by helicopter to the hospital after a crash in Marlboro. The crash shut down a portion of Route 2 for hours last night. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi has the latest information on the crash and where the investigation stands this morning.
Yeah, the Marlboro Volunteer Fire Department was one of several departments called to respond to that crash just less than a mile from where I'm standing. Now, Route 2 was shut down for a good part of the rush hour while first responders investigated what happened. A Lifestar medical helicopter landed on Route 2 Tuesday evening following a serious crash in Marlboro. The incident was reported around 6 p.m. on Route 2 westbound, causing major backups for over a mile. First responders say one person was loaded into the helicopter and airlifted to the hospital for treatment. Marlboro Fire Captain Jason Beving said the state police shut down the highway so troopers could investigate the crash further. That created a lone traffic backup along the detour roads, with cars being forced off the highway to get around the closure. Now the crash remains under investigation by the Connecticut State Police. In Marlboro, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Valerie, thanks so much. Well, the Cromwell School District is under investigation by the Department of Education over its transgender athletes policy. Last night, people in the community rallied in support of transgender students. Fox 61's Raven Blue has more from some of those community members, plus what the school district is saying about the investigation.
The battle over transgender athletes takes another step in Connecticut. Here in Cromwell, many are speaking out, including students who are concerned about the well-being of their fellow students as the school board considers repealing its policy on transgender and gender nonconforming youth. It was announced the Cromwell public school system is the subject of an investigation by the Department of Education for possible violations to federal sex-based discrimination laws, including Title IX. In a statement, the Education Department's Office for Civil Rights said the investigation is looking at whether Cromwell's policies were depriving girls and young women of equal athletic opportunities. Cromwell High School senior Sienna Abenuinger says repealing the school's policy will take away the only place some of the students have to feel safe and be able to be themselves.
It's going to definitely take a toll on a lot of people's mental health, and it's going to set us back quite a lot from the work that my club specifically has been doing for the last 4 years that I've been here. It will definitely make it slightly more unsafe for the trans students. They won't have as much protection. They won't be able to express themselves as freely. And sometimes for a lot of them, school is the only place that they can because they come from homes that their parents don't agree with how they feel.
During their Tuesday meeting, the board decided to postpone making the decision on whether to repeal the transgender and gender nonconforming youth policy. In Cromwell, Raven Blue, Fox 61.
All right, Raven, thank you. A scam alert to tell you about this morning. It is the newest text message scam to make the rounds near and far. People are getting messages that claim to be from the Department of Motor Vehicles. I got some of these, maybe you have too. But cyber experts warn not to fall for the trick. Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot has the important warning if you've gotten one of these messages.
It's the newest text message scam making its rounds. So many people have reported getting messages claiming to be from the DMV. Some even got multiple texts in one day. Cyber experts warn it's another attempt to try to steal your hard-earned money. Text message scams seem to be more frequent these days, and scammers are finding new ways to try and take advantage of people. The newest scam involves the Department of Motor Vehicles. People around the country are getting text messages claiming to be from the DMV and demanding money for a supposed parking ticket on your file.
It's essentially saying that, you have unpaid tickets. If you don't correct them, we're going to suspend your license and put a whole bunch of other sanctions in there. It's your normal scare tactic.
The state should crack down on this. There's got to be a way that our information is getting leaked out for them to be able to even message us. And I really hope nobody's falling for this because it's obviously it's a scam.
Connecticut State Police remind people that the DMV would never ask for information or money by text. If you receive this message, just delete it and report it as spam. In Wethersfield, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.